matter the party, doesn't matter the person. The concern is obvious in America right now. At this moment, it is the fear of attacks from within and without. Terrorism, the top issue in the minds of American voters heading into the debate. No question about it. Now, this is the first debate after the terror attacks in Paris and San Bernardino. How will the field size up on national security? Joining us now is someone who can own this issue for you, CNN national security commentator Mike Rogers. Thank you so much for being with us, as always. So, it is the theme tonight. We've been having an ongoing debate with our analysts this morning, where they're saying you need a plan, you need a plan. Now, you're hearing that more from the lefties than you are from the GOP. What resonates? What works in this forum tonight?
I think exactly the way Donald Trump has attracted voters is through strength. It's not necessarily a plan. If you talk to him much, you don't get much of a plan. Bombing the snot out of them is not a plan. That's a tactic. And so I don't think see a broad laid out plan this evening. I think people are going to try to find themselves in a position to say, I have the strength to deal with ISIS. You get a minute answer or even a 30-second response. It's pretty hard to lay out a plan on a very complicated issue.
You make a good point, but let me show you the latest polling. This is from NBC Wall Street Journal. This was out yesterday in terms of people's top priorities right now. And what they say is that their number one concern is national security and terrorism. It has leapfrogged over the economy, over government spending that used to be, you know, the battle cry of Republicans. I mean, health care down further, climate change down further. So when that is your number one priority as a voter, don't you want to hear more than just we're going to bomb the heck out of them?
Well, I certainly do. But you think of where the candidate is. They have to appeal to that voter in a very short segment. I think this is why these plans of I'll carpet bomb, I will bomb the snot out of them, I will be tougher on ISIS than anyone else. And you don't have a lot of time after that to go in, well, how do you do that? And so I think tonight you're going to see more of that. You might find some differences where Rubio and Cruz go at it on the surveillance side of things and how that's changed. But you're not going to see, I don't think you'll see big laid out plans. You may get a few quick snaps of, more special forces, more intelligence, more logistics, building a coalition. You might get some of that. But, these things get really complicated in a hurry, as we have seen, and it takes a thoughtful approach to it. But what I think voters are identifying with is where the president has been saying everything's fine, they see that it's not fine. They saw a series of attacks where it's not fine, including the biggest terrorist attack since 9/11 in the United States. They know something's wrong. So I think that's why they're attracted to this other message. And here's the key. A candidate who can, I think, attract those Trump voters in a way that isn't offensive, I think is going to do very well in the weeks ahead.
Take a step farther down that road. Remember, everybody, Mike Rogers isn't just a national security. He was in the House for a long time. He was in the business of how to fight this war for America on the intelligence side. He was the chairman of the committee. So as someone with the insight of what works and what doesn't, how do they distinguish themselves up on that stage tonight? If they all say, we've got to be strong, the president is weak, I'm strong, Hillary's weak, I'm strong, how do I break away from you?
You have to find that one line that captures people's attention in that minute answer.
What could it be? What do you think might resonate?
For me, it's different. I don't like the bumper sticker approach to national security. I think it's a dangerous thing to do. But we're in a political campaign, and that's what you do in a political campaign.
Ban all Muslims. 60% of the GOP says they support 38% of independents.
Yeah, and I have a theory on this, so
Please.
Bear with me.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, bear with me. Voters were looking for something. I think if you went back and went through a discussion in a forum and had a longer opportunity to talk about it, most of those folks would say, yeah, it's probably not the right thing to do, but we've got to do something. And just like a voter is attracted to a candidate they don't always agree with, but they think, well, he has the attributes or she has the attributes of the president or of a congressman or of a senator. I think that's what they were looking for. And I think they were attracted to not necessarily his message on that issue, but the fact that he was willing to stand up and say, listen, I'm going to do something about it, and here's what I'm going to do. I think people were attracted to that action, not necessarily the event in and of itself.
But, Mike, because you are steeped in the specifics, as Chris points out, from all of your expertise, do you hear distinctions between the candidates? Do you think they've laid out enough of their policy?
Yeah, and I've spent time when we've done these forums in Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina, and yeah, there are some distinctions. There are a lot of similarities, but there are a lot of distinctions in the approach to it. So I think what you're going to find tonight is they're going to try to find those differences and go at it. Because, the common theme, I think, that is building around, hey, how do you go after ISIS? You have to have a multi-pronged approach that includes diplomacy and lots of muscular military action, not in the big boots kind of way. So everybody's going to try to find that nuanced approach, and then they're going to try to, I think, exploit that one difference. I think you'll see a lot with Rubio and Cruz and Christie and others. And Christie, I think, is going to probably be smart tonight to tout his U.S. attorney credentials, that he's been in this fight before, he's taken action on this before. And I think that's what voters want to see. Who do I trust? Who do I trust to walk in? Because the biggest issue facing these candidates on January 21st is going to be national security. It's not going to be a domestic issue, and that's not by their